Let that sink in for these two for a second. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Three Idiots Talking Podcast. We are finally here with our 2024 end of the year wrap up video. This is going to be our top 10 songs and albums of 2024. Obviously, 24 had a lot of music that came out this year from a lot of big and known artists. So there is going to be some very interesting opinions. There was also a lot of music that came out this year. We had a lot of stuff happen this year. It was very big musically at the very least. Coldplay dropped, one of the bigger artists. Kanye dropped twice. I mean, just to name the rap, Eminem, Tyler, Kendrick, Dre, Snoop. I mean, we had a whole bunch of artists drop this year. And so it's a lot of artists drop, and it's going to be a fun little wrap up. We're going to give you our top 10 songs to start with right now. So let's start with Noah.
All right, at number 10, I had End Song from The Cure's album Songs from a Lost World. That was a heck of an ender for the album. It was pretty much probably the perfect way to end maybe what is their career. Long song, great song. I think it's very memorable. I think it deserves a spot on this list, in my opinion.
Well, I can tell you from all the Cure fans talking to us that it is not the end of their career. They plan on doing tours the next 2 years, and they'll drop another album in 2028. That's when they plan to retire.
Wow.
So far from the end yet. Far from it. All right, end song, The Cure. Cole, your number 10.
My number 10 is called Continuum 10 by Nala Sinefro off of her album Endlessness that came out this year. It's the closing song off that album.
You were going to have to spell her name for me, my friend.
N-A-L-A space S-I-N-E-P-H-R-O.
Okay, sure. So Continuum 10, Nala Sinefro, correct?
Some very, very pretty ambient jazz going on that album. And I think she probably, on that album at least, peaked with that closing track. I gave it a 9 out of 10. All
right. So my list is obviously very rap oriented. As we all know, it's my favorite genre. But that being said, I did venture out this year far into other genres more so than I ever have, mainly in part due to this podcast, so I appreciate that. But my number 10 will be sticking with rap, and we have Euphoria, Kendrick Lamar. Probably ignited, or one of the biggest reasons of I should have said Euphoria, Kendrick Lamar. I give this one a 9 out of 10. This was probably the biggest jump starter for the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, and it was just an absolute dissection in the finest level of rap beef dissection you can ever have. And it was the Kickstarter that started off the next 4 to 5 months of or I guess it wasn't that long, but 2 to 3 months of drama between those two, and it was fantastic. All right, number 9, back to Noah.
Okay, at number 9, I will go with Reincarnated by Mr. Kendrick Lamar.
Wow, okay.
Probably the best song on the album. Great storytelling. It's all around what I expect from Kendrick Lamar and was hoping for the entire album.
Sure.
Still a good album. That is also a 9.
Okay. 9 out of 10. Got it. Cole, did you rate Nala Sinefro 1?
Yes.
Give it a 9.
Your number 9. Top songs of the year.
My number 9 is Man at the Garden by Kendrick Lamar.
Man at the Garden. Kendrick getting some early love.
Love the vibe of the song. Super chill, mellow thing going on, but still some fire lyricism. Oh, yeah. Super catchy. Absolute banger from K-Dot. 9 out of 10.
We expect nothing less. So I mean, Noah, guess what, buddy? We had the same pick. Mr. Reincarnated, or Kendrick's Reincarnated, will also be my number 9. For all the reasons you said and more, I just love everything he did in it. I'm actually going to increase it to a 9.5 though, a little higher. But I love everything he did in it. I just love the bop to it, the beat. It was just so Kendrick in his absolute element. And man, do I love that when he gets into that. But everything you said and more.
I'm gonna go to an album that none of you have heard, just me. Some Father John Misty. A song called I Guess Time Just Makes Fools of Us All. Great song, very big sound to it, some good brass, great lyrics, great vocals, exactly what I expect from Mr. Misty. I'm also feeling a 9 out of 10.
Your number 8.
My number 8 is, I don't think either of y'all heard this song. No, I might have, but I'm not sure. Defiant Tender Warrior by Charles Lloyd off his album The Sky Will Still Be There Tomorrow. Just some very pretty,
by who?
Straightforward Charles Lloyd.
Okay, sorry, keep going. Super
pretty, straightforward jazz music. Just a little like 4.5 minute jazz banger. Just super pretty. Yeah, 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Okay, my number 8 is going to be my guy, Mr. Nim Nim with Houdini, his lead single of the year. He dropped it, and oh my lord, it was fire. I was on board from the second I heard it was essentially a change. I mean, it wasn't a fully changed, it was a new song, but same type of beat he used to have on his Slim Shady LP days. And man, did he just come out the gate with that new album absolutely on fire. I feel like everyone was on board with it. And yeah, this was a solid 9.5 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
Big.
You could say he got it in his bag, bruh.
He did get in his bag, bruh.
That song was awful.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
You gave it like an 8 out of 10 when it came out.
Absolutely did not.
Okay.
I give it like a 4.
No. All right,
yeah,
Noah, back to you. You're 7.
Right. We're gonna go with some lonely sinner here. I don't know how to say it. I still don't. I don't know if it's Philadia, I don't know. But it is a gorgeous song. Very nice little ups and downs, some very nice dynamics.
Yes.
Perfectly paced. Bit of a banger. I'm feeling a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. And yes, forgive us for not knowing how to say that title, but A Lonely Sinner. All right. Yeah, Philadia for whatever. It is an absolute banger. And also, if you haven't seen our review of it, it was one of the most recent one we did. We just uploaded. Go check it out. Cole, you're number 7.
I'm gonna stick with the same album that Noah did, but I'm gonna go with the song Storage.
Storage. Lonely Sinner.
Just post-rock, just some fantastic post-rock on it. Great build, great, what's the word I want? Crescendo, you know? A lot of suspense being built. Sounds great. 9.5 out of 10.
All right, my number 7 is going to be off of Tyler the Creator's new album, Chromacopia. We have Like Him. This song was absolutely fire when it came out. This album I was super into from the very start, and this song just was one of the absolute best that he put out, and in my opinion, the best on that album that he put out. I really struggle to find anything bad to say about this song because I can't, and I don't think there is. I think it's just a great Tyler at his absolute peak. He's got the storytelling, it's got the lyricism, it's got the instrumental, it's got everything I love about Tyler, but it is not quite a 10. It's a 9.5. Not quite a 10.
Yep, we're making our way to the 9.5 out of 10 songs. We're going to the majority Greek. We're in the Greek zone.
All right.
I'm gonna go with the song Through a War. Amazing little tune here. Great lyrics, great storytelling, great instrumentation. Quirky, as always, with Mr. Greep. A heck of a tune.
As always, he's got one album.
Hey, the Black MIDI stuff's pretty quirky too.
They're a quirky bunch.
Quirky.
So yeah, 9.5.
All right, jumping up to Cole, you're number 6.
My number 6 is going to be the song Patterns by Laura Marling off her album Patterns and Repeat.
Patterns.
Gorgeous little
Marling.
singer-songwriter folk song. Super super pretty, great lyrics, very pretty vocals, very wholesome stuff going on that whole album, especially on that song. 9.5.
All right, my number 6. Yes, no, another song off of GNX. Sorry, I cannot remember.
Oh, okay.
We have Whacked Out Murals, the first song off of GNX by Kendrick Lamar. I was so ecstatic when this album came out, and this song, I didn't know what really to expect from him after his whole beef with Drake, and this song just punches you in the face with its just tone, the instrumental, and the way he's rapping, and he just comes out with this dark energy, and he brings this very upbeat vibe to it after a while, after the song commences and you get into the rest of the album. Perfect way to start out the album, and this will be my first 10, because I do believe that is a 10 out of 10 song.
We're going back to the Greek. We're going back
to the Greek.
Well. Yeah, we're gonna go with a song called As If a Waltz. An absolute heater. Storytelling, great. Instrumentals, great. Changes around a lot. Got some good guitar work as well. It's my boy at his absolute peak. Not the best song, but he is very much at his peak during this album. Yeah, that song's also 9.5.
Your number 5.
5 is going to be a partial title track off of A Lonely Sinner. We're going with Sinner by Sam RC, however the hell you pronounce that name.
2 songs off of A Lonely Sinner in your guys' top 10. Interesting.
I only said one.
Or, yeah, no, I'm sorry, Cole's top 10. Very interesting.
Some super straightforward post-rock, which is not a term that gets thrown around a lot, but
No,
that song really gets to the point and then it hangs around there. Just an incredible crescendo throughout most of the song, really, with some great guitar playing on top of it. Yeah, 9.5.
The first non-rap song in my top 10, we have What's the Rumpus by Jack White off No Name, his album that came out this year.
It's your song off that album.
It is my song off that album. God, do I love it. It is so great. I do think this is a 10 out of 10 song. This one was the funnest song off that album. It had the hardest guitar tone about that album, and Jesus, I re-listened to it. I re-listened to the whole album last week, and What's the Rumpus just goes so fucking hard. The album is great. I think the album's it might even be a 10, and we'll talk about that later on come top 10 albums. But holy shit, is it just a fun fucking banger from Jack. It sounded like White Stripes era Jack White come back again. He just let loose on his guitar, full blaze into that tone, and just went crazy on the vocals. All of it great. 10 out of 10 for me. Also, if you haven't seen, go check out our review of that album. Noah, you're number 4.
All right, number 4, we're gonna go with some Godspeed.
Ooh.
Give me some of that Babies in a Thundercloud.
Babies in a Thundercloud.
That is one of the best Godspeed songs in like a very, very long time. Like the parts they wrote were just more ear-catching, harder hitting. The tones they had were amazing. The builds were fantastic and led to parts that were equally as great. 9.5.
Cool.
My number 4 is gonna be my pick for hip hop song of the year. I'm going with Reincarnated by our boy Mr. K.
Hip hop song of the year. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a cool category right there. I like it.
Amazing lyrics.
Yep.
Probably an even more amazing flow from Kendrick. One of his best flows since like maybe T-Pab on that song. Great instrumental, ton of energy, just pulling out all the stops, going absolutely crazy.
All true.
Fantastic song, absolute banger. 9.5.
All right, my number 4 is going to be off of GNX. We have The Heart Part 6. I fucking love this one. It is my favorite in the Heart series by Kendrick. I thought it was an excellent addition to it was sort of because Drake made a song called Heart Part 6 during their beef, and I thought it was a great sort of response in a way to continue the Heart series and also rebuttal Drake's diss Heart Part 6 song as well. And it was Kendrick doing what he does best. It was storytelling. It was lyricism. It was written so beautifully. He was telling us incredible. I mean, all the Heart series does this perfectly, but this one to me was peak because there's also that little slight element of subliminal dissing in between this incredible storytelling he's doing. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. And my favorite of the Heart series. All right, Noah, your top 3 starting at number 3.
I hate to be a bit of a broken record and keep going back to the new sound, but gonna have to keep doing it.
Going back to Gordy Greep again?
Yeah, I'm feeling some Holy Holy.
Holy,
as the third best song.
Holy.
Yeah, that is a insanely catchy song. Amazing guitar parts, just really weird progressions, moves around a bunch. Very fancy, nerdy little song musically, while still being like a very catchy song with some interesting lyrics to it. Nice little banger, Jordy. 9.5.
Oh, still not worthy of a 10 though from Noah.
My number 3 is going to be very reminiscent of Noah's 4, considering it's the same song. Babies in a Thundercloud by Godspeed You Black Emperor. Probably their best song in 12 years, honestly. The builds, because there's like 3 of them in that song, are amazing. The guitar work is fantastic. Just the notes that they're picking to play are fantastic. The riffs are all great. Just packed with emotion in these incredible crescendos that just have so much, I guess, I don't know if energy is the right word for it, but just it feels incredibly immense and powerful.
Energy is the right word.
Just absolutely gorgeous song. Incredibly intense song as well. Yeah, 9.5.
I would also accept vibe. 9.5 though. My number 3, we have the best song in my opinion off of GNX, Man at the Garden. The almost instant to me best song I thought off of GNX. I personally thought this was like, as soon as I heard it, I thought Reincarnated was gonna be the top, and then I heard Man at the Garden. I was like, oh well, there you go. It's Kendrick doing what he's known for and what he's peak best at in his career. It's pure lyricism, pure storytelling. He's not going on this incredible, angry flow. He doesn't build up tempo. He just tells you this boom, boom. It was very T-Pab-esque, where it's just, telling you this story, getting it out, putting it on the paper, putting it on the mic, and then laying it all out on an incredible instrumental. Perfectly well done. And I have nothing else to say. It's a fantastic 10.
All right, we're going to go back to that Lonely Sinner.
My God, it makes its second appearance for you as well.
Yep, I am feeling that Storage.
Oh!
I am feeling that. What an amazing song right there. Again, amazing builds. The quieter parts are beautiful. The heavy parts. Maybe my favorite guitar tone I've heard on a song this year. Absolutely chunking away. Sounded amazing.
Fucking metal guitar in there.
That was awesome.
That was unexpected as fuck.
And that's what helped it be so good. The drums were really good as well. I am feeling a 9.5.
I think I guess you could call this my ballad of the year. I'm going with the song Child of Mine off of the Laura Marling album, Patterns in Repeat. I think it's the opening track off the album. Some of the best lyrics I've heard in a few years. Like, they're just absolutely beautiful lyrics about motherhood and being a mother to like a newborn baby and just how much she loves this kid. It's absolutely beautiful, incredibly wholesome, with an amazing melody, beautiful vocal performance, great instrumental. Just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous song. Love every second of it. Great chorus too. I'm feeling a 10.
Oh, there it is. All right, my number 2 song of the year, and what I think had the second best rap verse of the year, is Fuel by Eminem, featuring Jid as well. I'll add him on there because he is a big part of this song as well. Yeah, this was Rap Verse of the Year when it first came out. Jid dropped an incredible verse on this song. The beat was hard as fuck. It was Eminem and Jid's one of the better verse rappers we have right now. And so when I knew Jid was going to be on the song, I knew Eminem was going to bring his all, and they both went off on this track. It was so good. A whole bunch of other rappers came in and remixed it along with it. It was called Rap Verse of the Year up until the next song, and we'll see that. But I love this song. Just two absolute lyricists going at it bar for bar. 10 out of 10.
We should try and predict.
You'll
I
know.
feel I'm pretty confident about what Noah's number one is.
Go for
I
it.
think it's super long song off of the new sound.
Oh, he's got a
the
smile
really
on his
long
face.
song
That's
off the
definitely
Jordan
it.
album.
That's
I
definitely
don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, we're going
No,
back to
you're
the new
number
sound.
one.
Yeah, we're back to the new sound.
It is.
We're going to the only song of any of the albums that came out this year that we rated that I gave a 10. We're going to The Magician.
There it is.
Boy, oh boy.
There we go.
Best song I've heard this year lyrically, musically. It is just a little roller coaster it puts you on. This is the best song that has come out of Greep from his solo stuff and Black Midi. It is easily for me the best song of the year. The only song of this year that I would give a 10.
All right, for Cole's number one. It's a little harder because he's got some albums in here that I've never heard. He didn't give anything on GNX or Chromacopia a 10.
I'm expecting not listen Afro. I'll just say that now.
I will say something off Gordy Greep because he has nothing on there yet.
Well, my song of the year is I guess you could call this post rock. My post rock jazz rock song of the year, which is also my award for song title of the year because
Oh.
this song title kicks fucking ass.
Oh.
I'm going with "Breaking Inertia" by Maruha
Inertia.
off
by-
of their
You're gonna have to spell that.
unreleased jam session that they recorded on a phone in the middle of their studio.
Wow.
But this opening 28-minute long jazz rock post rock jam session is just absurd. It's just this constant escalate of crescendos, and the performances are so insane instrumentally and vocally at moments. It's absurd. I can't believe that people did that. They just kept going, and I don't really know how. It was amazing. It's not even released on Spotify. I think it's just on YouTube and Bandcamp. It's unbelievable. I'm feeling an easy 10.
Well, can you guess my number one?
Something by Eminem.
Okay, Noah's guess is something by Eminem. Cole?
I mean, it's gonna be a hip hop song because you said it was a hip hop song a minute ago.
I did.
Lord help you if it's Carnival.
Oh. It could.
I don't know. I'll say Carnival.
That are,
that song isn't good.
Kind of close, but neither of you got it. The answer is Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. An absolute 10 out of 10 certified hood classic from the day it dropped. This is incredible work by Kendrick. One of the biggest things Drake kept blasting him for was that he didn't make club songs. He didn't make things that were popular, played in the car, or people listened to. So what he did was made a song that Drake has never even come close to making, which was the biggest song of the year this year, outside of probably Taylor Swift or something, and put hip hop and put himself at the top of every single hip hop and rap chart throughout the entire year. The first rap song to hit 1 billion streams this year by itself. No features. Everyone was dancing to this. Everyone knew the lyrics. It is the best song I had heard this year and put Kendrick right back at the top of my list of rappers right now. It was fantastic. Peak everything. He had the lyrics, he had the beat, he had the instrumental, he had the hook. He even had the people singing all different, the entire song, start to finish, which is something not a lot of Kendrick songs allow people to do because he's a very thought-provoking guy. But this one was just fantastic. Loved it, start to finish. I knew unless someone came out with an absolute banger, it was going to be easily the best song of the year for me. So that was our top 10 songs of 2024. Our number ones, we had myself with Not Like Us. Cole had Breaking Inertia by Maruja. And Noah has The Magician by Jordy Greep. Yeah, so let us know in the comments down below what you guys thought of our top 10 songs. And let's move on to the top 10 albums of 2024. Top 10 albums of 2024, probably the more controversial one we will have for this video. I'm very curious as to what you two have as number one. I do not think there is like a clear and obvious number one this year.
I think Noah would make it.
I think there's about, to me at least, there was 2 to 3 that could really at any day given put up numbers for number one album of the year, but we'll see.
Number 10, I'm feeling Endlessness by Nala Sinefro. Yeah, some great ambient jazz. Had some cool like electronic elements mixed in at some point. Some good drumming as well from my boy Morgan Simpson and Black Midi. Big fan. Love you, buddy. I'm feeling an 8 out of 10.
Your number 10 album of 2024.
I'm gonna go with Lives Outgrown by Beth Gibbons.
Okay, I know who
she
is.
Very nice little singer-songwriter acoustic folky album right there, by the lady from Portishead.
Yes.
Yeah, did a very nice job. Good songwriting, good vocals, really good lyrics. Feeling an 8 out of 10.
All right, my list is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. I'm all over the place. My songs of the year were mainly rap. This one, not mainly rap. I can promise you that. My top 10 albums of the year, number 10 is going to be Songs of a Lost World by The Cure. I was very surprised at how good this was. I was not I really had no clue what it was gonna sound like, and I was very surprised at how good this was when I came into it. I bet one of these two has it in their top 10. I'm not gonna guarantee it, but I bet I wouldn't be surprised. I think this is an 8.5 out of 10. It really shocked me. It put me onto The Cure. We have had a ton of requests for other Cure albums because of just, people appreciating that we appreciate that album. They're quite an old band, but they're still going on to this day, and they've been doing it for a long time, and to be able to still make music to that level is very impressive. So I was impressed.
At number 9, I'll go No Name by Jack White.
Oh.
This was a pretty standard this blues rock album. Kept it
standard,
pretty close to basics, as basic as Jack White can get. Yeah, very straightforward. Nothing wrong with that. That's just what it is.
Okay.
So there's some nice little jammers on it. I mean, yeah, it's a good album.
Great album.
A little quirky, as Jack White tends to be.
I love the quirkiness about it.
I'll give it an 8.
Number 9, I'm gonna go with The Sky Will Still Be There Tomorrow by Charles Lloyd. Pretty straightforward jazz album, but just done to a very high level. Got a lot of very pretty cuts on it. Very, very enjoyable jazz stuff going on there. A lot of soul in there.
All right.
8 out of 10.
All right, my number 9. What do we got? Yes. I firmly believe this should be true, and this is not a joke. My number 9 album of the year is going to be Harlequin by Lady Gaga. Let that sink in for these two for a second. I, as you guys can tell, was the only one who appreciated this album.
You gave it like a 6.5 when we reviewed it.
No, I did not give it a 6.5. I thought this album was severely underappreciated by these two. I thought it had a lot of really, really good remixes on it by Lady Gaga. I thought she did a lot of great covers of songs. She also had some originals on there as well. I thought she sounded pretty damn good. I've heard a lot of bad Lady Gaga, but this was one of the best things she's ever done, I've ever heard. I was very surprised by it. It was a lot better than I went into it thinking this is gonna be fucking terrible. I've had zero good ideas about it. I was like, this is gonna be a 1 or a 2 at best. I was surprised. I was very surprised. Now, I'm actually going to rate this the exact same as the Cure album at 8.5. I think this was extremely underrated by us as a channel. I think Cole and Noah did not appreciate. Cole obviously was not going to appreciate because of the musical aspect of it, but I think Noah also didn't appreciate it just because he didn't like the covers. I think he didn't like the covers of it. That's fair.
I didn't like anything about it.
Well, you seem to really not like the covers. That's what you really seem to not like.
It was so bad.
I thought it was extremely underappreciated by us, and I seem to be the only one who felt that way. So I put it in my top 10 because I was very surprised. I've given a lot of credit when people surprise me and do far better than what I thought going in. And
much worse than I thought it was gonna be.
Wow.
I don't really have much of an opinion about her early stuff. I've never really listened to it. Maybe she is. She's a perfectly fine singer.
Sure.
But good lord, the just style of music on that album
was great.
And the horrible. It was awful. It was
this is where we just flat out disagree. But that's okay, because we can
musical
do that.
theater is the worst genre of music that exists. So
number 8, I'll go Songs of a Lost World by The Cure.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, this is just like a little gothic time capsule from 1980 dropped in this year.
Yeah, it was surprising.
It's full of good original sounding songs, good lyrics, good vocals, surprisingly. Still got the creative juices flowing and be able to make some pretty ambitious stuff.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
I'm gonna go with A Lonely Sinner.
Oh,
Sam
breaks the top 10 for Cole. Damn, okay.
A very, very solid, very good post-rock record that I hear a lot of potential in, and I hope that Samantha continues to be ambitious and make some creative and unique post-rock stuff. Because I think she could top it. I think she could do even better than A Lonely Sinner, and I'm excited to hear what she does next. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. And also, we just wanted to give a quick shout out to Samantha LRC for following us on Twitter and retweeting our video. Thank you. We appreciate it. All right, my number 8 album of the year, we have, and yes, I did go back and forth on this one quite a lot, but I had to settle on it just because of I still enjoy it to this day, no matter how much hate I get for it. Vulture's number 1 by Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign, also known as, well, YS, whatever, Y dollar sign, whatever you want to put it. I love this album when it came out, and I have not really changed that opinion. I know he's gotten trash for Vultures 2. I know he has. I think Vultures 1 is still better. I really do enjoy Vultures 1. I think there's a lot of bangers on that album. I think it could have been better than it was, but I still, like, when it first came out, I gave like a 9.5. I still have this pretty highly rated. It's not that high anymore. It's an 8.5 for me, but I have it highly rated because I think it's got some absolute bangers on there that still to this day I enjoy listening to and I play all the time. So I think when you can withstand that much hate and still keep going months and months after release, for me at least, that's going to be high up there.
At number 7, I'll go Chromacopia.
Oh, glad to see at least made the top 10. I was hoping it would get your top 5 though.
Some nice high highs, some Like Him, some Thought I Was Dead, some low lows as well, like some Sticky or Balloon.
Yeah, there's a couple things there.
It was a mixed bag of an album. I think it's still a good album. I think he did a pretty good job with everything for the most part besides those 2 songs. Still nice to see him, pushing his own boundaries and seeing what he can do, and I hope he continues to do that. This is also an 8.
I'm going to go with No Name. Grown on me a decent amount since it first came out and we reviewed it. Just really a straightforward but super fun collection of some blues rock and garage rock bangers. Some fun guitar tones, some great riff writing, some cool lyricism from Jack, really catchy and really fun. 8.5.
A Lonely Sinner. Yeah, this was a surprise. This was a album request video that we had. One of our subscribers requested us to do it, and they specifically wanted to do it before we did our end of the year video because they thought it would crack into our top 10 some form or fashion, and they were right. Hugo nailed that because this one definitely deserves to be there. It was fantastic post-rock. Some of the best post-rock I've heard from somebody who is very young, only 20 years old, I think.
19.
whatever,
20.
19, 20, whatever. Very young to be doing this good of post rock, because it is not an easy genre to do, especially not well. I have heard lots of post rock now from Cole and Noah, who's showing me different albums and stuff, and this one was a bit more unique. It had different directions. It took it into different genres. It meshed a whole bunch of different things together. There are some flaws, like Cole mentioned, and there's some things she can fix, but overall, very good, especially for a very difficult genre and someone so young. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10.
All right, we're going back to the things that you two haven't heard.
Okay.
We're going to that Father John Misty. Good luck spelling this one. This will be a very fun time for you. It is called Mahashmashama.
Okay, I'm just
really good at
that. You keep talking.
Oh yeah, this is just. It's apparently might be his final album. And this is probably the second best album of his career. Some of his best songwriting in a long time. I like the way they mixed it. It was just like, at points, a very large wall of sound. The tones on the album overall were very good. The horns were great. Good vocals as always. 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna go with Endlessness by Nallas and Afro. Like Noah said, some very, very pretty ambient jazz going on with some cool electronic stuff thrown in there and some great drumming. One of the more consistent albums of the year, because she just kind of finds this great sound and then just sticks with it throughout the whole album and pulls it off really, really well. Feeling at 8.5.
All right, my number 6 is going to be The New Sound by Mr. Gordy Greep. I had absolutely no clue about this guy when we first did this album. I know he was part of a band called Black Midi before this, and this was a solo work. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know what to expect. And I was pleasantly surprised with how well it did, not only on our channel, but how well it did for me personally, because it was really interesting music to listen to. Sort of a different genre than I had ever heard before. And everything about it was very unique to me. It brought me into, I can't remember the exact genre, Noah, you're gonna have to remind me.
Art rock.
Yeah, well, okay. So that's sort of my point, is that I couldn't remember what the main thing was, because there's a lot of things going on in it. It's got a whole lot of different unique sounds that I'd never heard, a whole lot of different styles and different sounds that I had never heard. And I thought it was really well done. And I know Noah's a huge fan of it. It's a massive part of his top 10 songs this year. And man, it brought me into a whole different style of music, and I'm going to give him a solid 9 out of 10 for that, because I was impressed thoroughly.
At number 5, I'll go Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay. Creative little pop record. Probably the best pop album of the year.
Ooh, all right.
Like, very, very creative, very out there. Lyrics were solid. Instrumentals were probably the best thing about the album. Vocals were very odd, but I fuck with them.
Okay.
Besides that,
He fucks them.
yeah, it's
Cool.
a banger little album. 8 out of 10.
At number 5, I'm gonna go with GNX by our boy Mr. K-Dot. Getting hip hop song and hip hop album of the year for me.
Woo! I was wondering if you were gonna pick Chromacopia or GNX, but I guess we got our answer.
Definitely GNX. Just a collection of some absolute hip hop bangers. With some great production, amazing lyrics, great performances. Kept it really straightforward, but I think pulled it off a lot better than he had when he tried this sort of thing previously with Damn. I think he pulled it off better here. Oh yeah, feeling at 8.5.
My number 5 is going to be The Death of Slim Shady, or Eminem. Coup de Grace, sorry. The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. Obviously, it's hard for me not to love an Eminem album, being my favorite artist. And this one, it really didn't disappoint, especially with the singles that dropped. I really enjoyed the singles on this album. I thought this album had a couple misses here and there. Just some things that were more of like for the fans and not for the general public. But one thing I really loved about this album was he did go deep into a lot of the stuff that he had been dealing with in recent history with his fan base and the critics and the media and stuff. He really dissected that and brought us to like an explanation on all that. So I really appreciate the effort he put into it. I think that this was, I said it when this album first came out, I think it was a fan album, and I think he did it for the fans, the diehard fans especially, and given that I am one of those, I really appreciate that. So I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
All right, at number 4, I'm gonna go no title as of the 12th of February, 2024. 28,340 dead. Boy, oh boy. Heck of a little comeback here by the Godspeed fellas. They are very amazing at creating this certain atmosphere, usually very unhappy atmospheres. And sometimes it's just nice to listen to that, ascend a little bit. And this album is an 8.5.
Number 4, I'm going with Night Palace by Mount Erie. Pretty, very somber, very introspective little folk indie rock record here. Probably my favorite release. I mean, my favorite release under the name Mount Erie from Mr. Phil Elverum. You know, typical, almost Glow Part 3-esque. With this typical, just like beautiful melodies, great lyrics, and really unique instrumentals. 8.5.
All right, my number 4 album of the year, and this one actually recently changed. I swapped this one and the previous album today, is Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish.
Oh my god.
What?
Yes.
This is
Fucking why?
I will explain. This album came out towards the beginning of the year, and Cole and Noah might not remember this as much. We did review this, but they might not remember it. I was a huge fan of this album when it came out. I thought this was Billie Eilish's best work I had heard so far. I thought she nailed every single aspect of what she was, what she's done in her career with the. I don't really know what specific genre, if you want to even change it from pop to whisper pop or whatever you want to call it, soft pop, whatever you want to call that genre, but she nailed it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it had great usage of instrumentals. I mean, we talked about the production from her brother multiple times on that album and how we thought it was really, really good and very, very well produced album, well mixed album. I thought that was probably her best album. I've heard 3 of them by now. That was the 3rd one. I thought that one was the best of all the 3 I've heard. I heard the 3 quote unquote best by her. And I thought she nailed this. It was one of the most popular albums of the year, and I think it deserved it. It also, now I gave Death of Slim Shady a 9.5. It's going to be weird to do anything lower than that, so I do believe I gave it probably a 9, but I'm going to raise it to a 9.5.
There's no way you gave that a 9 when it came out.
I think I gave it a 8.5 or a 9, but I have my rating since then has gone up as I've lived into it more.
Okay, I've never even thought about listening to that album again.
I mean, I have like over 3/4 of the album liked on my Spotify.
all right. At 3, I'll go with A Lonely Sinner. This
Wow.
is a heck of
Over
an atmosphere.
Godspeed?
Wow.
Over Godspeed, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take this one over Godspeed.
I don't know about that.
Wow.
There's a couple songs on the Godspeed album that are, they're okay. I
Keep
find
going.
this album more entertaining and enjoyable as a full listen through. Boy, oh boy, yeah, this thing is a mixed bag of emotions. It's very pretty at points, well, sometimes very aggressive. It is just like, I wouldn't even like limit it to a certain genre, because it's just a variety of different sounds and emotions, and I appreciate that for it, and I'm looking forward to what comes next. I think that is an 8.5.
3. I'm gonna go with the album that had my number 1 song on it. I'm gonna go with The Vault by Maruha.
Okay.
Really just a collection of jam sessions from this band that are just wild, especially with like Breaking Inertia, considering how great I think that song is. But like the rest of the album, I mean, it's long as hell, but like the rest of the album has some amazing moments as well. It's really just these crazy ass post rock, jazz rock jam sessions, but I dug the hell out of it. I was a huge fan. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
All right, my number 3 is going to be Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator. I think Noah had it. There it is. Yeah, I mean, I was super hyped in this album when it came out. I knew, based upon the The first couple teaser songs that he gave us, the Noid song and the teaser trailer he did, all that stuff, I knew he was going to be in his element for this one, and he absolutely delivered. I think Noah was right. There's maybe 1 or 2 misses with Sticky and that other song that he mentioned. Outside of that, I thought this was pure Tyler Creator at his absolute best. He was blending his really passionate, like sort of sneak dissing, but also being sort of really in your face with his creative style. He's a very creative person, and he likes to show it off and express it in very different ways. So I thought he was in his element. He also brought a lot of energy to it. It was a very energetic album, especially at different points, and he also brought the softer side on a different couple songs. He had a lot of creativity, and for me, that makes this a 9.5 out of 10.
All right, at number 2, I'm gonna go with Night Palace by Mount Eerie. Boy, oh
That's a good
boy.
pick.
This was a heck of an album. This Mr. Elvrum really pushing his musical creativity. Like, there are so many different ideas that go on through this album, yet I feel it is still a very cohesive listen. He did an amazing job, as always. Been becoming a very big fan of his, but I've been a fan of this album since it released. I'm feeling once again an 8.5.
My number 2 has been mentioned by Noah on his list already, but it's going to be No Title as of 13 February, the Godspeed You Black Emperor record. I mean, definitely their best album since at least fucking Hallelujah Don't Bend Descend. Just some amazing post-rock on this album. Some of the best crescendos in their discography, arguably. Listening to it right now, and it hits super hard. The songwriting is fantastic, the pacing is incredible, and it's got some of the best moments in their discography. I'm feeling it. 9 out of 10.
All right, my number 2 album has already been mentioned by Cole, is GNX by Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, I mean, this album was a surprise album. It unfortunately dropped when I was away, which is just so typical of our channel. And when I listened to the whole thing, it was straight fire. It was everything I wanted. It was Cole kind of said it best. I thought it was actually a mix of his whole discography in a lot of ways. I thought it sort of started, maybe not Section 80, but it sort of started at the beginning with, you know, all the different albums that he's gone through, all the way up to Morale. And I thought it had a blend of almost everything in different ways and different songs, but I do think it was more so to Damn focus, whereas you got the more commercially available songs on this, the more marketable songs, but they're done in a better way than Damn did in a lot of ways. Even though they probably won't be as popular as Damn was, they're more entertaining to listen to in some factors because they go more into the lyricism. He switches up flows. He does different things on different songs to add to the entertainment factor, and I just love that. So this album for me is a 10 out of 10. All right, can we guess Noah's number 1 album in 2024?
Yeah, it's going to be The New Sound by Jordy Griep.
I have noticed a lack of Jordy Griep on here. I'm pretty sure we all know it. But go ahead, Noah. Is it a New Sound by Jordy Griep?
It is indeed The New Sound by Jordy Griep.
There we go.
This thing is amazing front to back. There's not a single skip on this thing. It is...
Okay.
I have never heard an album like it. It is
Wow.
so amazing.
Wow.
Lyrics are amazing. Vocals are amazing. The ideas are out of this world. The guitar playing is fantastic. It is such an immense upgrade from Black Midi, while Black Midi was already an amazing band. This is easily album of the year for me.
Easily.
And I think when we get to 2030, that this has possibility to maybe even be album of the decade for me.
Wow.
I am feeling a very strong 10.
No 9s this year.
No 9s. Noah said, fuck all that. Ain't even close to it, bitches. Get better with your shit. All right, Cole, let's see. Can we guess Cole's number 1? What is he missing? He does not have Jordy Griep either. Jordy Griep either.
It's not happening.
Do we go back to back?
It's not happening.
Not happening?
I was a little disappointed, and I know it's not happening. Yeah, I'm going to the Laura Marling.
All right, I'm going to go with the Charles Lloyd one that I haven't heard. Cole, what is your best album of 2024?
Well, considering I put Charles Lloyd at number 9, it'd be weird if I had him on here twice.
Well.
My number 1, Noah pretty much nailed it right there. It's going to be Patterns in Repeat by Laura Marling.
Okay.
Definitely the most beautiful album I heard this year, with probably my favorite lyrics of any album this year. Very reminiscent of a lot of folk artists that I love, like a little bit of Nick Drake influence in there, I think. But just the instrumentals and the lyricism and the melody writing is all just absolutely beautiful. And there really wasn't a moment on the album where I wasn't, vibing with it. Had one of my favorite songs a couple of my favorite songs of the year, and just definitely my favorite lyrics of any album this year. Feeling a 9.5.
9.5. So no 10.
If I was gonna throw an honorable mention on my list, I would throw the Jordy Grieve as an honorable mention.
All right, can you guess my number one album of the year?
I'm not sure if he said Lonely Sinner.
And then he already gave the Kendrick a 10.
did say Lonely Sinner.
I guess. Oh, no. No Name. He's going No Name. Jack White. That's what he's doing.
Yep.
Cole got it. It is No Name by Jack White. Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 album. This from the very start, when I was extremely surprised at how well I liked it. I thought it was his best solo. I think it's his best solo work he's ever done. I think it's you can put it up against the White Stripes discography, and this might be number 2 of all time, right next to Elephant. This was fantastic. The guitar work on this, I already thought he was a top 3 guitarist of all time, and this just proved it to me. Okay. I thought he was incredible vocals. I thought he had an amazing instrumental throughout the album. I thought his guitar tones were absolute heat. This brought it back to some of the White Stripes element, like White Stripes type of guitar tones that he's done, and also like songs like Fear the Dawn and things like that. God, start to finish this album, and then plus, of course, the song I named as my where did I have it at? What's the Rumpus, of course, one of the best songs of the year that came out on this album. Just straight fire. First time I think I've ever had a number 1 album of a year be outside of rap. That's how much I liked and appreciated this. And yeah, I put Jack White right up there with best artists right now. Fantastic. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I had anything else better to say about it. That is our 2024 end of the year wrap up. To wrap it up, we had number 1 songs from Noah, The Magician by Jordy Grieve. Cole had Breaking Inertia by Maruja, and I had Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Noah, for albums, number 1, he had The New Sound by Jordy Grieve. Album number 1 and song number 1. Noah's a big fan. Cole had Patterns and Repeat, Laura Morling. No 10s for Cole though this year. And then I had, just like we all said, No Name by Jack White, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 songs, but
but no 10 out of 10 albums this year. This was an interesting year in music. What would you guys say? 2024, was it a good year for music? What do you think?
I would say if I was to rate it out of 10, I'd give it like a 7.
7?
It is for the most part a positive year.
Okay, cool.
I'd say 7.5 to an 8 out of 10 year for music.
For me, this was a hip hop rap year, so I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10 because all my favorite artists dropped, which is just fucking
better
awesome.
Than last year.
It is better than last year, when none of my favorite artists dropped last year, and I was so bored. There was nothing last year.
This is a very, very solid year for music.
Yep. No Brad. I know there's gonna be a lot of people who are. I'm surprised Noah didn't have Brad in his top 10, considering he just sucked that album off like it was the last coming of Christ.
Yeah. If we were doing honorable mentions, that would have been number 11.
Really?
Yeah.
How close was it to Endlessness?
It was incredibly close, but I just fully listened to Endlessness today. Because I knew that
you got recency bias.
No, I just knew that if I listened to it, it would be on my list.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Hope you guys did enjoy our 2024 end of year wrap up. Our top 10 songs and our top 10 albums. Let us know your list personal down below in the comments down below. Leave a like down below. Hit subscribe. We have hit over 530 subscribers. We are going up so quick. We've also unlocked some features, so if you want to come watch us on our live streams, and it's pretty cool features that we'll start be rolling out more and more. And yeah, share the video with your friends, follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you in the next video.